Hey. I think we're good. I can hear you. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? All right. Okay. I try to use the blue. Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the officiality of that one. I don't want to go back to LA and have to make it from the streets there. I'll go back to LA if there's opportunity there and I've got money in my pocket. I get a place to do those kinds of things, you know.
Sure.
But right now, I want to get my feet going somewhere else. Like Boulder's been super beautiful. It's so much softer and kinder and gentle, and I feel like I'm kind of healing up from the intensity of the city.
For sure.
For me, it was an amazing roller coaster. You know, it was so much going on last decade that I think I just need a little bit of time to really process everything. Well, it's been. I mean, one of my greatest observations, which, you know, is also, it's sad as it is beautiful to find some direction, but I think we need to have a revolution of like nature and get away from the cell phones, man. I see a big difference in traveling now. And I can honestly say most of the contention that you saw and a lot of the battle I go through on the road is that it's so much of that like disappointment from seeing how our culture is changing and how it used to be. It used to be way more interactive. People used to talk to each other face to face, and so now everyone's in their phone so much, you see a big difference in social interactiveness, you know. And it is true. The beauty of it, there's still good people around, and you can still go anywhere and meet people and stuff. It's just, you know, it's 1 out of 10, 1 out of 20. You know, it's just that one person sometimes in that situation. But a good example, like here in Boulder, when I came here 20 years ago, there was this place called Penny Lane. It was an awesome coffee shop. You could go there, put your pack down, and some local would be like, "Wow, where you going? Where you headed?" They buy coffee for you, and then they might invite you over for a shower, or, you know, and you find friends. You start clicking in real quick.
Right.
And back in the day, this process was like that. That's what I sort of wanted and expected. I figured I'd go out in the world, meet people face to face. You know, when you look at each other's eyes, you can connect, and then opportunities would come to stay places and more opportunities. But there's a much bigger divide now between the housies and the outside people.
It's our water. It's the poisoned food. Yeah, it's the basic necessities of our life.
Sure.
It's our cultural decay and the evidence that social media does create mental illness, that we do need to be regulating this technology. If you read the articles, the people who made these technologies didn't use them like this. Like Steve Jobs, his kids, he didn't let them have iPads and iPhones. We're not supposed to be using this like we are. Maybe regulated throughout the day. We have to have some sort of self-discipline with it. It's a neutral tool, and it should be helping us, but it's not. And there's all kinds of studies. I mean, the fact that this is even kind of a debate is funny to me because it is obviously decaying our society, and we have to sort of like learn how to use it. Because I'm saying this, when you spend so much time on your newsfeed and you think about this one thing you see for 4 seconds and this next thing you see for 7 seconds and this next thing you see for 15 seconds, it trains your mind to have a short attention span, shorter than a goldfish. I'm talking about our news feeds. Our news feeds on all of our social media. What I'm saying is that the dopamine that's released from our notifications is the same thing that happens with drugs. When we take a drug, the dopamines are released. It's a drug. Social media is a drug. And if you're fighting addiction in real life and you get on Facebook and it, you know, makes you fucking feel insecure like Facebook can do and depressed and stuff like that, that's going to, aid in the temptation to do drugs and things like this because it in itself is addictive, designed to be addictive. And there's very little difference between it and actual drugs. It's a drug. We're all a bunch of junkies in our culture, and we're escapists because we work hard for our money. We're scared about our money, and we just want to go zone out and enjoy ourselves a little bit after work. And this has created an escapist culture, and we're watching the world decay around us, feeling disempowered, when the whole trip is understanding how much power each one of us has. We influence each other. There is no neutrality. Because people are sitting on the fence or not doing anything, they're affecting those of us who are trying to do something. Because no one person or a few of us can't change anything. It takes the group. But the group don't think that they're significant. So we have to awaken the significance within the individuals within the group, because any one of us could literally change the world. For example, I just posted this article today where this woman, she pays $80 an hour to cuddle with a guy for an hour. She's married, but she only sees her husband a little bit out of the month, a few days out of the month. And I'm seeing this more and more. People are craving attention, affection, physical contact. The wife paid $80 an hour to have some stranger, some guy who's just will cuddle with you for an hour for $80. Yeah, I mean, he knows what happened with that, but my point is that I'm seeing that all levels.
Right.
Like literally as I'm posting this today, I'm watching the line in the coffee shop as of a little girl like try to get her mom's attention, and the mom's like lost in the cell phone. And it is true, man. Little kids, they grow fast, man. I'm a parent, and it was true, man. Like there was times when my little daughter was just that age, just for a minute, you know. And it makes me so sad to see how many parents are caught up in their cell phones when their little kids are trying to get. It's a balance. I'm not saying that, you know. I mean, obviously, I'm doing this podcast with you all right now. I mean, I think that it could be used for positivity. That's why I still stay on social media. I feel like we share information. I receive information from it that is beneficial to the solutions of the world. But I'm saying there's a balance in there. Like I've developed like times. Like I'm not just always on my phone. Like there's a time during the day when I call people back. I'm creating more space where I'm just not accessing my phone all the time because it's interrupting my flow, my art, man. I'm trying to do a painting and I'm like checking Facebook, you know. Well, how about this, fellas? How about this? Here's what I'm trying to say. I think that we need to create an infrastructure for people to go to. It's not just about tearing down the old system, and I am, you know, into criticizing the system and like understanding why we need to leave it. But I think the biggest importance is to create a place for people to go. We have to create an infrastructure and concepts for people to get into that's constructive, and that's basically creating the new all of it physically like community places to go physically. I'm talking intellectually. I'm talking new concepts. I'm talking not just tearing down the old system. We got to create a place for them to go. Our own sideshow. Well, I mean, the first leg was 500 miles in exactly a month. And then I caught a ride from Flagstaff to Telluride where the Bluegrass Festival was. And so about at the halfway point, I started getting rides. So I've done probably 700, 800 miles of the 1,200 miles that I've gone across the country. But I sold some art along the way. People just, you know, they see what I'm doing, they just come up and hand you money, you know? I mean, it's really miraculous at times, you know? Well, it's really been a beautiful process because I'm starting to understand that the art that's selling is the art that, you know, is my own style, and I've been working on it for so long, and I didn't think it was ever going to do anything, but I decided as an artist. See, I think all artists go through a great dilemma, and that is to either make art that's going to sell, which is the equivalent of being a painter who paints signs for a living, you know, and you could be a graphic artist, and there's nothing wrong with that per se, but I think that we all have some sort of message that we want to say or some sort of art that's in us that's unique. And a lot of us who explore that, it's not as marketable. People don't get it until you die a lot. So I haven't been focused on my art my whole adult life because I never thought that my art was going to sell. What I'm going through this summer is realizing people like my actual original ideas, which is the surrender, you know, the guided postulation, and the other one, which is what is an artist, which is the one of a guy ripping out his heart and giving it to you. And those two series, people have been liking all across the country, and it's really kind of building my confidence because I've been a very insecure artist. And I think that's part of the revolution because I think the revolution is going analog again. I think we're going to get past this electronic, which don't get me wrong, I love editing, you know, I love video editing, but there's something about the paint on your skin and the touch of clay and like this visceral, like real life art and connection. And I see that's what the revolution is about now. It's about reclaiming our humanity, you know, going back to nature, you know, kind of thing. Well, and that's what I was saying earlier is like, I mean, just look at the circle here. I mean, you know, Wolf earlier was telling me about how, you know, I've influenced him. He's influenced me. I remember when he started putting out Dirty Kids, man, I had that jealousy, like, oh man, I need to get back. I even made one video, like, out of him asking me to do it. And like, this podcast you're doing, bro, I'm really supportive of it, man. And the same thing, when he started doing these podcasts, I was like, he hit that jealousy, like, man, I want to be doing that, you know? And I've got plans to do some work that along the lines with this as well. And what I'm saying is we've influenced each other. There's a lot of people that we influence that maybe don't even speak up to us, but I have seen in my life a ripple effect. And that's just it. I mean, that's the empowerment process. We all have, so that's the main thing they get us in our society to do is have apathy on our own power. And so for somebody to say that I'm not going to stick my neck out, I'm just going to go to work and I'm going to just take care of myself and my family and stuff, that's saying a statement that they don't matter. And what I'm saying is, I'm sorry, but I don't agree with that. I think we all matter, and if we all just stepped up the plate and just did what was in our hearts, everyone's solution's different. You know, but if we all just stepped into the game, then we would see a much different world very quickly.
There's nobody standing by the river. There's nobody, she's a real forgiver. Used to talk to me so sweetly. Now she's looking at me so discreetly. Looks at me so sweetly. Now he's looking at me so discreetly. There's nobody standing by the river. There's nobody, he's a real forgiver.